Good morning and welcome to another episode of the TRC How-To series. I'm your host CDB, and today we're going to discuss 3 lathering methods. The first method being face lathering, the second bowl lathering, and the third will be making a lather in your hand. So let's get started with the first method, face lathering. All right, so obviously when face lathering, you're going to need a soap, which today we're going to demonstrate using Barbus, which you can find at the razor company, and obviously a brush. Now I have wet this brush and I'm going to squeeze. Well, you can't see it there, but essentially I'm squeezing most of the water out of the brush. You don't want it soaking wet, or at least I don't. And what you're going to do is load directly from the tub. And here's our Barbus, and we've loaded on it before. I like to hold it upside down. And basically, you're just going to continue to make circles on that soap both ways and load it until you get a good paste in your brush. And that is the key. The key to face lathering is getting that initial load right. And you'll see it starts to get pasty. If you want to, you can add a little more water to the brush. I'm just going to mist it a little bit. This is just a mister, which you can find on Amazon or someplace like that. And I'll continue to load. Some people load for 30 seconds. Some people load a certain amount of swirls. It's really up to you. What I like to do is continue to load until I have a good paste in the brush. And I think I'll load it even a little bit more than that. Look, you really can't use too much. Don't worry about loading too much on the soap, in my opinion. You will likely have lots of soap laying around, so it's better to load heavy than to go light. Because if you go light, you can run into problems. And now we've got a good paste in the brush, which is what we're looking for. And what we're going to do is just simply wet the face. And again, I'm going to use my mister, but you can just use your sink and splash your face or however you want to do that. I like to apply a good helping of water, and I'm going to mist the brush a little bit more. You need water and soap. You know, those are the keys. And the brush, by the way, for today is the Razor Rock 400, which you can find at the razor company. And all you need to do to build a lather is just move that brush, agitate it back and forth. You can make circles if you like. And as you continue to agitate, the lather will begin to form. As it does, you can begin painting. If you like, everybody does it differently, or I should say a lot of people have different preferences when it comes to making a lather. The key is to make a lather that works best for you. There's not necessarily a right nor wrong way to do it. You just need to make the type of lather that is slick and lends itself to an excellent shave. So don't be too concerned with the way your lather looks. Now, what I like to do is incorporate a little more moisture as I go. And so I'll just mist. What you can also do is dip your brush in the water, dip your brush in the sink, under the spigot, whatever you like. But ultimately, what you want to do is get hydration in that lather. And it doesn't have to be super thick and like a Santa Claus beard. It can be on the thin side, if you like, and it'll be just fine. So long as you get slickness in there and you get good coverage, you'll be fine. This is more than enough right now already to execute a good shave. And there'll be enough lather remaining in that brush for 3 full passes. What I like to do is once I get the brush loaded very well, it's just paint. And again, if you want to just paint more hydration in it, you can. We'll just remist here and just paint a little more. Ultimately, it's about continuing to use the brush and work it until you get a lather that you're happy with. And again, that varies from person to person. But the main thing is you want slickness, you want hydration, and if you obtain those, you're going to be good to go. I am not one of those people who's super finicky about the way a lather looks. I am super finicky about the way a lather performs. And I can tell you right now, this lather here will perform very well. It's got hydration in it. It is pretty slick enough. It will do everything we need it to do. So there is your first method, face lathering. Stay tuned and we'll come back for bowl lathering. All right, and we are back, and now we're going to demonstrate bowl lathering. And for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to be using the Captain's Choice Copper Bowl, which is sold by the razor company. I don't know if it's in stock as of this moment, but they do have them from time to time. And I'm going to use today for bowl lathering Shannon soaps. This is lavender lemongrass, also sold by the razor company. And what I typically do is just take a plastic spoon or something like that, and I will just scoop, and I'll show you how much I'm scooping. I'll just continue to scoop until you get a fair amount on your spoon. That is likely more more than enough. But remember, use more than you need, and you'll always be happy. If you go on the underside of things, you won't have enough lather to complete your shave, or it will be thin. But if you use enough product, you'll almost always be happy. Some people say load it like you hate it, meaning use a lot of it. But I say load it like you love it. So use enough product to where you're going to be happy. You're getting a great scent. And what I do is spread out the soap throughout the bowl, like so. And then we'll wipe our hands off right here. Actually, what I'll do is we're still using the Razor Rock 400. I'm just going to wipe my finger on the brush there just to put some of that leftover soap in the brush. There's no sense in wasting product. Just because we have a lot of it doesn't mean we should waste it. And what I'll do is go ahead and add a little bit of water. And again, we're just using a mister here. You see the mist there. Add a little bit of water in there, and we will start making circles. And what I like to do is I'll go one direction and then go back the other direction. So we're wearing the brush evenly. Don't always go in one direction all the time. And also make back and forth directions. And you'll notice that the soap will start to get quite pasty. When that happens, add some more hydration. You're going to continually repeat this process of going back and forth, making circles. We'll go one way, we'll go the other, we'll go back and forth. And again, we'll reach a stage where we're getting mighty pasty. Again, when that happens, add more water. And I'm using a mister. You can just use water from the sink, whatever you like. It really doesn't matter. And we're going to continue to repeat this process until we get a consistency of bowl lather that we really like. And it usually doesn't take long. It usually takes a few minutes, and I'm sorry for the clacking there. One of the things I will say is this Shannon soaps, when lathered properly, will yield quite a creamy lather, and we need more water. And this is simply a process of repeating these things until you're happy with the volume and type of lather that you want. And again, that can vary from shaver to shaver. Some people like lather a little on the fluffy side. Some people like it a little on the drippy side. You decide what works best for you. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Just do it in the way that you enjoy, and do it in a way that makes you happy and gives you the best shaves possible. And as you can see, we're starting to get a nice sheen on the brush there. And this can handle more water. And so don't be afraid to add water, but do it gradually. Work the soap a little bit, add water if you think it needs it. When it gets pasty, that means you need more water. And as you can see that little drip is starting to get shiny. When you see that shine on your brush, see that like right there? That's the sign you're getting where you need to be. And I find that this Shannon's really makes a creamy lather. For me, it's one of the best soaps on the market. I just love using it. And it's one of the reasons I brought it in here today, just to show that it will yield quite a creamy lather with no trouble at all. And let's go ahead and start to show you there. You see that? See how creamy that is? That's Shannon's. It's good stuff. Anyway, you're going to repeat this process. Add water, work the lather, add water, work the lather, and you do it until you're happy with it. And I would be happy with that right there. And I hope that comes across on the video. It's got a good sheen to it, which means it's hydrated. Honestly, it can take more water. We'll add in a little more. And you can repeat this process. You can work it as much as you like. It is completely up to you. But what you want to have at the end is enough lather to do your 3 passes. And I can tell you right now, that is good stuff. That is quite a good and hydrated lather. And there you have it, bowl lathering. Stay tuned and we'll come back with making a lather in the hand. All right, and we are back, and now we're going to demonstrate the final method, which is making a lather in your hand. And I'm going to use this Old Spice cream, which again can be purchased at the Razor Company. And we're just going to take the top off, and we're just going to squirt a little bit in the hand. We'll try to capture that for you. Remember, I would say use a little more than you need. They generally say almond size, but why not go just a little bit more like so? And that way, you'll pretty much be assured you'll get the type of lather you want. What I like to do is once I squirt it in my hand is just, again, add a little hydration right out of the gate. And we're going to take our brush, sorry for bumping the camera there. We're going to take our brush, once again, Razor Rock 400, and just begin to work that and try not to let, sadly, the cream is escaping. A bunch of it fell off, but I think we'll still be able to make a lather with what little we had. I'd say half of the lather fell on the floor there, and the reason being is I've got it held way up here, but all you need to do is use that hand, some people call it nature's bowl, and continue to work that soap. And over time, it will start to develop volume. And what you can do is, if you like, you can add a little water to it, just as we did with our bowl, and continue to work it, and continue to work it. And when it starts coming through the other side, you can just sort of take your brush and scoop it back up and get it in the brush. The key here is just to get lather into your brush, and it'll start going through your fingers. And even though I dropped the majority of the shaving cream, you can see there's no problem generating lather in the palm. And all you're going to do is continue to work it and sort of get it loaded in the brush. And then once you have it loaded in a way you like in the brush, just take it to the face and continue on with your face lather. But you can work this as long as you like. You can develop quite a bit of volume, as you see there, even with not having a lot of cream after it having fell in the floor, excuse me. And as you can see there, more and more volume. And so there we go. A lot of lather there in the hand. There's plenty enough there now for 3 passes with no problem. And there you have it. There are 3 methods of lathering. Remember, make the type of lather that makes you happy. A good lather is the type of lather that lends itself to a great shave. So be happy with your lather, enjoy the process, but most importantly, enjoy your shaves. Thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. On behalf of the Razor Company, I'm your host, CDB, wishing you great shaves.